Hello, folks. I greet you. Welcome to another program of Journalist Hangout. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Now, today on the program, Chief of Army Staff urges armed groups to seek dialogue as police gun down IPOB members in Ebonyi State. Federal government and ASU reach agreement over 2009 agreement to prevent strike. And later on, we'll share this with you. NEL Fund approves immediate disbursement of student loans. I'm hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, the one we call fondly as BKO. I greet you. Good evening. Yeah. Good evening. BKO, we are joined by Chris Kennedy Nwandu.
When you are saying BKO, always ask farmer too. BKO, do you know BKO is a full farmer now? Yes. It's nice to be here.
Okay. All right, so the team is ready. I hope you are. Okay, let's go. You know, yes, our country is hurting on many sides, but if you are aggrieved, seek a useful dialogue. After all, it's a lot better to jaw than it is to war. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, has passionately appealed to aggrieved Nigerians who have elected to take up arms against the state to drop their arms and seek dialogue. The Army Chief reflected that it is only in a peaceful atmosphere that the country could thrive. Meanwhile, a news reaching us from Ebonyi State has it that at least 5 members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, have been reportedly killed in a gun duel with operatives of the State Police Command. Again, because these are times that continue to try men's souls.
Yes, I think the Chief of Army Staff was spot on when he said that it is only in an atmosphere of peace that the economy can thrive, and that agitators should drop their arms and explore the possibility of dialogue.
Yeah, yeah.
Who says that what you are demanding for cannot be achieved in, through dialogue? We saw the militants on the Niger Delta, Niger Delta Avengers, and MENT. We saw when they were agitating at that time, and they were attacking Nigeria's oil assets, targeting export terminals, and they nearly brought the economy to its knees.
Kidnapping,
in the end,
taking hostages in the process.
It's different from what they were not. Those ones who are now talking about were focused on stopping the exports of crude oil.
Yeah.
It's a different phase that you are talking about. In the earliest phase, they were kidnapping people. But kidnapping individuals may not get Nigeria to respond to them quickly until they began to sabotage the oil industry.
Yeah.
And they were targeting export terminals. If you target export terminals and you stop us from exporting crude,
it's like strangulating.
That at a point they brought us down to like I think about 500,000 rice a day.
Okay.
The former vice president and Ibe Kachiku,
okay,
they had to find a way to reach these guys, and they negotiated. So today, the kind of attacks that meant that the Niger Delta Avengers carried out, nobody carries out such attacks anymore.
Yeah.
Because they had the capacity to even go deep into the high seas to cause some disruptions in oil production.
Yeah.
So in the end, we negotiated with them informally, and some of the things that
they agitated for.
Yes, they were able to appease them, and they left us alone. They stopped attacking.
Through dialogue.
Yes, through dialogue. It was the same approach that late President Yar'Adua adopted.
Right.
You know, and the idea of amnesty program came up, whereby we've been able to send some of them abroad to learn
a trade or two.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, some of them have graduated as pilots today. Some of them have graduated as marine engineers. So that was the government's way of showing that, look, we've not forgotten you people. But all of this came with dialogue. It's not every time you achieve so much by taking up arms against your state. And I've been talking about this for some time, that, look, let's embrace dialogue where we can.
Yeah.
And dialogue will deliver the goods. And you look at the crisis in the Southeast now, I'm convinced that through dialogue we can still bring the situation under control. But dialogue is not a one-way thing.
Okay.
The people who have chosen to take up arms against their country, they have to show a desire to negotiate. Otherwise, it will amount to talking to a wall. You know what it means when you are talking to a wall? Yeah. Nobody's listening. You are wasting your time. No? So, dialogue is a one-way thing. I mean, it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street. I agree with the Kwas that, yes, it's the political leaders who take these decisions. Left for the military, they will simply want to adopt the kinetic approach all through. But we've seen now that non-kinetic approach can sometimes deliver
yield dividends.
I agree with him that these guys should let peace reign, because you can't defeat the state no matter how long it takes. This is what IPOB, ESN, and the rest of them need to know. You can't defeat the state. Don't kid yourself that you can defeat the state.
Chris, he said it all.
Yes, he did. I really have to commend the current Chief of Army Staff. To me, Lieutenant General Lagbaja, within the 1 year he has been in the saddle, to me has been one of the best Chief of Army Staff we've had. And I like his approach to issues. He's a man of little words, but he delivers. And I also like the carrot and stick approach that he's bringing to bear on issues like of security. And what he said was very germane. It's not every time you see a military man asking for dialogue, asking for restraint. That is not his training. That is not the training of an average soldier. Has been trained basically to keep peace and to kill. So they don't do PR. But this very Chief of Army Staff, I have been very. I met him once when he was immediately appointed during the Chief of the Army celebration in Ibadan. Late last year or by mid last year when he was appointed. And when you see him, when he was talking, you see that this is a man that has human feelings. He's not just a soldier. You will see that, yes.
He exudes.
He has that human, you won't believe, in fact, you won't even know that he's the man. I'm sure out of uniform, you know he's the chief, chief. But if he have gone through his antecedents and what he has achieved as a soldier, even before becoming a Chief of Army Staff, you know that this is man. So I totally agree with that. And at that event also, the Sultan of Sokoto also spoke. The Sultan of Sokoto was saying that in the military, you don't know who is a Muslim.
But you know the Sultan.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
He said there is nothing like a Muslim, Christian, Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa in the army. That the army he knows is a united force. He's a retired brigadier general, he's a general also. So I like that. But my main concern is this once in a while attack on our military. And like what happened, part of the story is also that there was an attack at Isepe. Yes. Ishieke in Ebonyi.
State,
Yes, they attacked a police station. And at the end of it all, 5 of them were killed. And I have a little bit concern with some of the when we say IPOB, I think we should put the blame where the blame is. Nnamdi Kanu, yes, he was the man behind IPOD. He was the one that started it. But of late, you have seen most of his pronouncements. He has been preaching more of peace rather than the radical approach. Most of the people that are doing what they are doing in the Southeast,
regardless of what Simon
is. Yeah, that is where I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm saying that most of those that are doing what they are doing in the Southeast are not truly IPOD, quote unquote. These are criminals who are taking instruction, advantage of the situation, and taking advice from somebody. Even the Chief of Defense Staff came out recently to say there is the need for the government to be able to look at ways of getting across to or apprehending or prosecuting or whatever. So we should not, so that we don't throw away the water with the bath, baby with the bath water.
Yeah.
Of late, Nnamdi Kanu have come to say that any source of violence in the South that is out of it.
And as Biko just said, it's better to judge
of course,
than to war.
Of course, that is across the globe. That is always the thing. Even this thing, you remember the war in Northern Ireland, the Northern Ireland
involving the IRA.
The IRA, and at the end of it, what happened? That was a negotiation. They have to come to the table and be able to negotiate, and that's why you have relative peace in Northern Ireland, in the United Kingdom, and the rest of them. So I think this is just the way. But as I said, I totally commend the Chief of Army Staff, and I hope that he will continue on this trajectory.
BK, I cannot agree more with the fact that a peaceful environment will aid development and growth.
Yes. We are talking today about the need for us to do something about food security.
Okay.
Many of our farmers cannot access their farms. You go to a major food production belt, like the Benue, for example.
That's it.
A lot of the people are in IDP camps. More than a quarter of the population are in IDP camps. There are no less than 10 IDP camps. Some of them run by government, some of them run by private individuals.
Yeah.
These remorseless criminal headsmen have chased people away from their communities, from their farms. They've now turned them to beggars when ordinarily these are people prepared to till their fields and grow crops. So they are plunging the rest of us into hunger by their actions. So if people were permitted, for example, if people were not hindered in the area of food production, do you think we'll be in the mess that we found ourselves now? A lot of those places people can't go. I personally did a little documentary on expensive rams. And they were telling me that there are some communities in Katsina that they used to go to buy ram, but that those communities are not accessible anymore. Wow. They told me. And I had them on record. So if those communities are not accessible anymore, it means that the money we have will be chasing fewer rams.
That's it.
Than usual. And
that's why when they get to Lagos, for instance, a ram that should ordinarily go for 20,000 naira would get to I hear
they don't have to get to Lagos. Even in the same Katsina, because you can't go to places where you in the past you used to go and evacuate ram.
Okay.
It means that only the fewer rams will be available, and when fewer rams are available, it's a normal economic principle that the prices will go up.
Oh, yeah.
That's why people are buying rams for 400,000, 750,000. The kind of rams that they were buying for less than 100,000 before, or even 60, 80. They sold them for 750. So it reinforces the Chief of Army Staff's position that in an atmosphere of peace, there will be real growth and development. That's what we want to see. Don't stop people from going to their farms. Terrorists have taken over people's communities. You saw the story of terrorists in Niger State who are now feasting on people's yams. That they
have the time to pound the yams.
They barged into people's barns, stole their yams, stole their grains. You are the ones enjoying their communities now. They fled their communities to go and stay in IDP camps. There's no way to avoid food production. All of these things affect food production.
Oh yeah.
And agri contributes the greatest GDP, greatest to our GDP.
Yeah.
So if we do not do something about food production, if we do not defeat insecurity, our economy will not make appreciable progress.
See, Chris, PKO went to his state and came back with a story about what the governor was doing about farming. Hectares of, of land. And if farming, if the dividends come, Kogi will not just be able to feed itself, but export.
Not only Kogi. Even my state of Imo State.
Okay.
If you look at the areas of land that we have in Imo State alone, and we want to...
Are you exploiting?
No, I didn't say what I said. I said we can replicate what is happening in Kogi State, in Imo State, and several other states. I've said it time and time again. Once you drive straight on this road and hit Shagamu Exchange and you turn right, you are going to Benin. You will see land. Green. You don't even, those lands will obviously build it. Yes, that you don't even need to put fertilizer on them. Yes. I'm telling you. Because if you look at the trees, you look at the palms, the vegetation very lush. That you don't need anything. All you just need to just clear, till, and
I just stay. The middle past governor of Taraba took fertilizer to a local government called Krume.
All right.
They returned the trailer load of fertilizer.
Because they won't need it.
They don't need it.
Yes, they won't.
Because their land is fertile.
This land is fertile. And you come to say that why you even know that land is fertile is that if you see most of those, you will see some cashews, pockets of cashews here. Not that people cultivated them, some of them just dropped.
Wild.
You see cocoa, you see cocoa, you see. So what I'm saying in essence that
is it what we need to country that even on mountains,
of course,
trees are growing.
Yes,
on mountains.
Of course. So you can now imagine if the government, state government, I'm looking at state government now, invest wholly in everything, and I'm talking of mechanized.
Okay.
Not this one that we are sharing cutlasses and say we are giving people cutlasses, giving them hoe and shovel that they should go to. No, it has gone beyond that. If you go to some other countries, you see, you travel. Cities you travel. You will see somebody, a place that almost about 20 hectares of land.
That is when you hear that in the US, they grow wheat growers, make returns, and more than enough.
They have more than enough, and they have enough to export.
Yeah. Some of the richest people in South Africa are farmers.
That is it.
They are the ones who grow these grapes that they use to make wine.
Really?
Yes. In Soweto, they have the Soweto Wine Festival. It's a global festival. People come every year to.
Have you forgotten that was the time that Kwara State was inviting, was it South Africans, which was Zimbabweans to come?
At the time.
That is what I'm saying. So we have more than enough. So that is why I believe that there is enough. We have enough we have land and we have the possibility to feed in ourselves and exporting more. But are we taking the advantage of those situations?
Taking the story home, it is a lot better to jaw than it is to war.
We shouldn't even war at all.
So, especially in a